HSS 1500. Catamaran vessels were developed in the mid-1990s as a new concept of maritime transport by the company Stena Line. Compared to regular ferries, these high-speed vessels can take on board significantly more passengers and vehicles. The project was named the HSS 1500 and has a unique design of ships, as well as an aluminium case that provides maximum strength and efficiency. The main feature of the HSS 1500 is its high speed, which can reach 40 knots. This water transport, which in fact is a ferry of a new generation, is built on the principle of low water plane vessels and has the architecture of a catamaran. The length of the HSS 1500 is 126.6 meters. The capacity is 1,500 passengers and 375 cars. SSCV Tialf. This unusual construction is a semi-submersible floating crane with a lifting capacity of 14,200 tons mounted on a platform. Currently, it's operated by Hirima Marine Contractors and is the most powerful floating crane in the world. The Tialf has two cranes with a total load capacity of over 14,200 metric tons, making it also the largest floating crane ever built. The weight of the structure is 74,117 tons. It's 96 meters tall and 202 meters long. The hull of the ship consists of two pontoons with 4 legs each. Transit draught is about 12 meters. The Tialf can accommodate 736 people at the same time. The huge floating crane was produced in Japan, but today it's registered in Panama. Symphony of the Seas. To date, this ocean liner is considered to be the largest cruise ship in the world. It's 362 meters long and 66 meters wide. The liner is equipped with 15 passenger decks, 2,775 cabins of various classes, which can accommodate 6,780 passengers and another 2,175 crew members. Also, the ship has a casino, ice rink, game rooms, an aqua zone, a bionic bar where guests are serviced by robots, and 20 different restaurants on board. The liner was presented in March 2018 in the port of Malaga. During the entire summer season, the Symphony of the Seas is to spend on Mediterranean cruises, after which it will go to the new port of residence, Miami, from where it will be put out to the Caribbean. Prelude FLNG. The biggest ship on the planet and the largest floating structure ever created by man is the Prelude FLNG. It's 488 meters long and 74 meters wide. However, technically it's not a ship, but the world's first liquefied natural gas plant on a floating base. The ship belongs to the Dutch-British oil and gas company Shell, built in South Korea by the company Samsung Heavy Industries, and works in the Timor Sea off the coast of Australia, extracting gas from the ocean floor. The Prelude FLNG was created specifically for the service in the cyclone zone in the open ocean, and is able to withstand the hurricane even of the 5th highest category. The crew of the floating plant consists of 240 people. The CSCL Globe. This container ship is considered to be one of the largest ships of this type in the world. It's 400 meters long, 61 meters wide, 30 meters tall, and weighs 183,800 tons. Besides, the CSCL Globe can take 19,100 standard containers on board. It is the first of 5 giant ships of the series, and the cost of each of them is $175 million. The container ship is equipped with a diesel engine from MAN B&W, whose capacity is 69,720 kilowatts at 84 RPM. Despite the fact that this engine's power is inferior to the analogs installed on other vessels, a computerized intelligent throttle control system, taking into account the relative speed of the vessel and the conditions of the ocean environment, allows it to obtain excellent performance indicators. This leads to the fact that the engine of the CSCL Globe, when traveling at a speed of 16 knots, consumes 20% less fuel for one transported container compared to the engines of smaller vessels. Its port of registration is Hong Kong. Pioneering spirit. The world's largest ship, designed for assembling, dismantling and transportation of offshore drilling platforms, as well as for laying underwater pipelines, belongs to the Swiss company Allseas, which also was the ordering customer. The nose part of the Pioneering Spirit is made in the form of a catamaran. A wide slot between the hulls allows approaching closely to the legs of the drilling rig. The length of the vessel is 382 meters, and the width is 124 meters. The maximum displacement is 932,000 tons. The lifting capacity is also impressive. When installing and adjusting the platform, it's 48,000 tons. When working with the rig, it's 25,000 tons. It's worth noting that when installing the platform, the superstructure and drilling rig are mounted on the platform as a whole. The cost of the huge vessel is $3 billion. Veilmax. The largest dry cargo carriers for ore transportation are called Veilmax. This is a ship series of the Brazilian mining company Vale SA. 7 ore carriers were ordered by this firm in South Korea, and another 12 in China. The very first vessel was Vale Brazil, later renamed the Ore Brazil. It was launched in 2010 and serves to transport ore from Brazil to Asia. This bulk carrier replaces 11,150 truckload of trucks, burns almost 97 tons of fuel per day, and ranks second among the ships by dead weight, exceeded only by the TI-class vessels. Due to its size, it can only be used in some deep-sea ports of Brazil, China and Europe. The length of the Veilmax is 362 meters. CVN-65. This nuclear power attack aircraft carrier of the US Navy was put into operation in 1961. It had the largest length among warships of the world, 342.3 meters. One shipload of nuclear fuel was enough for 13 years of service, and during this time the ship could pass up to 1 million miles. The total ammunition was 2,520 tons, and the maximum capacity was 5,828 persons. Simultaneously, up to 90 aircraft could be on board, but usually only about 60 were placed there. Initially, it was planned to create 6 such ships, but due to the high price of $451 million, it remains the only one of its kind. The aircraft carrier feature was not only the dimensions, but also the presence of 8 A2W reactors. The speed of the CVN-65 was 33.6 knots, about 62 kilometers per hour. During the operation, the aircraft carrier went to sea 25 times. In 1964, it circumnavigated the globe and set a record for the number of sorties from the ship's board, 65 times per day in 1965. To date, the CVN-65 is decommissioned and towed to dry dock.